Sup diary, it's me, yes or no. And this is, of course, another episode in my Dating Diaries series playlist, whatever those things are called nowadays. And ladies, this is gonna be mostly a video for you for anytime a boy tries to call you crazy, dramatic, or overly sensitive because you vocalized something that he was doing that hurt you. And because I've never mentioned this boy by name on my YouTube channel, that means we get to go into more of the details. So juicy, those details. That was weird. I know, I'm sorry, I'll stop. I'll always keep being me. So when I was in New York City, I met this guy who, you know, he was super handsome. He was an Ivy League graduate, and he also happened to be a professional fencer. En garde! I should have been on guard with my heart. Am I right? Am I right? That was corny. No wonder he left. No, but he was also amazing at guitar. He loved helping me build my company. He had a wicked knack for storytelling, and he also sent me pictures of his dog a lot, which is cute, really cute dog. And did I also mention he had arm sleeve tattoos and loved children? Yeah, I was drooling. Did I drool a little just now? I might have. Just checking. This guy was pretty much, you know, he checked all the boxes and then some. Boxes I didn't even know existed. So let's just call it what it was. I was smitten. And to be honest, he was pretty smitten too. You guys, you know when there's real chemistry, when two people really like each other. And we had that. So we would talk almost every day or every other day via video call, because this was during the days of COVID. Still is the days of COVID. They're never gonna end. But we would talk for almost an hour or so on these video chats for about 3 weeks straight. But then, dun. That was not the right tone. Dun 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 dun. This isn't sounding the way it's supposed to. Dun dun dun. Things went south. He canceled last minute 3 times, guys. 3 times in just a few short weeks, right? And when I mean last minute, I mean I would show up for the time of the video call. It would be a couple minutes past because I didn't want to look over eager, like I'm already sitting here waiting for you. But then it would be like 5 minutes past, so I'd be like, hey, are we still doing our call? And he'd be like, I can't. Too much work. Like, he was one of the busiest people I've ever met, right? Like, guys, he was owning quarantine. He was working like a dog. He was also creating like this music album since his fencing season got canceled and there would be no Olympics, like blah, blah, blah. It was not a clear and cut case. Like, we're gonna need to bring in the detective on this one. But then I thought, you know what, detective? No. Stay at home. Rest yourself. Doesn't matter what his reason was, I just realized, you know what? This is negatively impacting my life. So I decided to bring it up to him. Hey, you know, just so you know, canceling last minute is one of my pet peeves. Maybe I could have been a little more direct, but I thought, you know, that's a good-natured way to, you know, kind of nudge him into knowing that he needs to step up his game. Turns out, my message wasn't clear enough because, guys, he did it again. 4th time, less than 3 weeks. So I was like, oh my gosh, we're gonna need to have like a real legitimate conversation about this. Hey, it hurt me when you blah, blah, blah. So we did. We had that conversation. And then, guys, he did it again. 5 times, less than 3 weeks. So I broke up with him. His words, not mine. Like, guys, if that doesn't give you a sense of just how into each other we were, I don't know what else will, all right? We were basically considering ourselves exclusive, and we hadn't even had that conversation yet, right? Like, we probably would have DTR'd in the next week or two if I hadn't have cut that short. But it was weird, right? Because, like, he really liked me. But, you know, my best theory is that he was literally just deprioritizing me under his work, under his music, which actually totally makes sense and is healthy to do when you first meet somebody, right? They shouldn't be your top priority. But to ladies, grab your pencil, take some notes. This is where it gets problematic. A guy, especially a guy who you want to be your boyfriend, should not be so absorbed in his own world that he literally can't see things from your perspective. This guy literally told me I was 100% in the wrong. And I don't think I'm the only one who's had this happen to her. Because instead, what he did, instead of doing the logical thing, just not make plans or tell me earlier, instead, he disrespected my time, he disrespected my feelings, and he didn't stop when I told him it was bothering me. He minimized my feelings, told me they were trivial, and told me, and I quote, that I need to ease up! And he said it in all caps too, so I imagine that's how he thought it. It's a little ironic coming from the guy talking in all caps, but anytime a man implies or tells you that you are crazy, dramatic, or overly sensitive for responding to something insensitive that he's done, that's problematic. Here's my vision of a perfect relationship, and I'm sure many of you have like similar vibes. I imagine this amazing relationship where, you know, one day I'm like 50 years old and I'm standing with my husband in the kitchen and we're being all mushy gushy and like kissing each other in front of our teenagers, and they're like, ew, mom and dad, stop, you're so gross. But we just like love each other so much, even after decades of being together, that it's like, sorry kids, your mom and dad, we love each other. That's like the kind of like love that I want in my life. And so it just doesn't make sense to be with somebody who won't hear your needs or who makes you feel like you need to suppress your needs. Either you repress all your feelings and one day you just like, bam, explode like some fireworks on the 4th of July, or over time, you know, you start to lose some of your sparkle because you feel like you're not being heard. And relationships, what they're meant for is connection. So when we're not connecting emotionally, it just isn't gonna work. Do we need a stand-up break? Let's stand up. You're so vain. You probably think this bit is about you, don't you? Don't you? I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about some other professional fencer who also went to an Ivy League school. Isn't that all of them? So ladies, what I'm trying to get at is that your feelings are not wrong. When you feel bad, it's a sign that some or one or whatever of your needs are not being met, right? When a guy minimizes your feelings and tells you those things, like, that's gaslighting, right? And you don't want to be in a relationship with somebody who gaslights you. You are not crazy. You are not dramatic. He needs to learn how to hear you when you say something hurts you. He needs to learn how to be a little bit more emotionally mature. And he needs to be willing to have an actual discussion with you about it, even if you guys disagree at the end of the day. And if he's not emotionally with it enough to get that, then you gotta not kill him. You need to cut him loose. People do not change unless they want to. And he's already shown you he's a person who's not capable of being what you need. He's too selfish, and he's already shown you that he doesn't want to take the time to make himself a better version, a healthier version of himself for you, right? He's the junk food diet, and you're the Michelin star restaurant. He's trying to make like Burger King and have it his way. And just like eating a double Whopper, you know, at the end, with him, you'll never feel fully satiated. But don't get me wrong, this was not an easy thing for me to do at all. I came back twice. No, but I am still super proud of myself for that first time making the decision and telling him it was over. And ladies, I think more of us have to be willing to do that, to set our standards early on and honestly set them higher than what we're accepting. Because the crap I'm seeing out here in the dating world, it's some bad stuff. Like, are we as women settling for that? I said no to a professional fencer who like graduated from an Ivy League, for goodness sake, loved talking to me about my business and was amazing at music. Like, you're allowed to set the bar higher, right? And I'm talking about your basic needs, right? Not the wants. The wants are all those nice flashy things I just mentioned, but the needs are really like, dude, respect me, respect my time, respect my emotions, and for goodness sake, respect my intelligence. So don't be afraid that you're gonna scare away this guy by vocalizing that what he's doing is hurting you, right? Because if you vocalizing it scares him away, then dude, he is so not ready to be in the type of relationship you deserve. And I don't mean to put the onus on us, ladies, because we shouldn't always have to be keeping guard, like, let me see you jump this high, let me put my walls up so high. The onus shouldn't always be on us. It should have been on their gosh darn parents, teaching them some gosh darn stronger empathy. But you know what? Their parents didn't do the job. And so probably by saying, this high, that's the best way we're ever gonna let guys know exactly where we need them to jump, right? And if they call us crazy, overly dramatic, overly sensitive, for communicating that to them, well, then they can go ahead and hop right on out of our lives. They can go deal with some other half-baked version of love whose ingredients are selfishness and repression. I don't know about you ladies, but I'm looking for the real deal, right? I'm looking for a love cake that keeps me full, that keeps me filled, that keeps me fulfilled. So yeah, just call me the baker, 'cause you can take it home and chew on that. When he asks if he can have a piece, you tell him to eat it. Shake and bake, Ricky Bobby, what's good? Peace.